going to Washington this week. I have not sold up there yet, so I'm excited to try that market out. So again, you know, you get in the house and you're feeling out the situation, right? You're taking the temperature. What's your opinion on solar? Tell me what you've heard about solar. Do you have any friends, family that have gone solar? And then just make sure there's nothing like upfront you need to address with them. Oh yeah, I heard that it's a nightmare to sell your house with solar. Like I have a friend in California, I have a cousin in California or in Arizona. Okay, the reason they have that is because everyone leased out there. Everyone leased solar panels. So yeah, solar used to work like that. You used to have to lease solar panels. So if you sell your house, you know, it's not the best situation. This program works a lot different. I'll kind of explain why, but you would own your own solar system. So, you know, that'd be a good time to kind of overcome what happens if you move. And then I go right into net metering. After I feel good about getting number one taken care of, I go into net metering, and that's really just the door pitch. And then I break down net metering just a little bit further. So right now in this area, we're using way more power than we produce with all the, you know, electric vehicles and the new homes that they're building. There's an increase in demand for electricity. So what utility companies like yours are doing is to make up for that increase in demand, they're relying on more renewable sources such as solar. So as long as your house qualifies, you're incentivized pretty heavily because it helps the utility out. You're incentivized to go solar, and I'll kind of show you those incentives here. Doesn't cost you anything up front to make the switch, and then afterwards you stop paying your electric bill and you'll have a fixed solar payment. So, and I'll show you all those numbers when we get there. But that's called net metering. So right now in your house you have a one-way meter, just rolls forward all the time, and then they send you a bill, right? Exactly. So with solar you'll have a two-way meter. During the day, any power you need come right from your roof. All the extra power is just going to go back on the grid to feed Excel. You're going to be powering your neighbors with clean energy. Okay, so as that happens, your meter rolls backwards, you get credits on your account. What we're gonna do is, it looks like you have plenty of roof space up there, so we're gonna try to get all of your power from the solar system. It doesn't always work out. Most homes we can't get all the power from it. So I'll show you how much of your power bill will get it covered. But in a perfect world, and this is like where I kind of know the offset before I start going into this part. I know what their offset will be. But I say the goal would be to actually overbuild your system to a little bit in the sunnier. So that means in the sunnier months you would overproduce, and then in the winter months you're going to underproduce, but you just bank those credits that you got from Excel throughout the year to cover your bill in the winter months. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how I explain that metering. At this point, they're usually going to ask like, well, what happens in the winter when panels are covered? And so, yep. So we guarantee the production. We have a production guarantee. We're going to factor that in. We know we factor in the cloudy days and the snowy days. Okay. So then after I get through that, it's the timeline. Okay. So this is where I'm setting the agenda. At this point, I know if I'm going to one or two touch it, because if their spouse isn't there, I'm going to two touch it. So that's good to know right before you set the agenda for the first time. So assuming that I'm going to one touch this, or assuming this is the time I'm going to actually show price, this is how I present the timeline. So today we're before step one. I'm showing you the solar report for your house, answering your questions, make sure it makes sense for you guys. From here we have to get the house qualified. So we do a free inspection. I'll send a technician over. He'll take pictures of your roof and attic, take some measurements, and then my engineering team will get all the information and they'll confirm the panel layout that I'm going to show you today. So once engineering passes that, they'll have a report. It's called the final design. I'll come back by, show that final design to you, see if you have any more questions, and then from there we start pulling permits. Permitting can take a couple months, and then we're going to install a system in a day, and then there's inspection, and then we get you up and running shortly after that. So, you know, it could be 3 months, could be 5 months. We do our best to get you moved forward as quickly as we can. We do the whole process in-house. And once again, the best part is there's no upfront cost for the whole thing. Doesn't cost you a dime, no hidden fees, no down payments, nothing like that. So that's how I set the agenda. Okay, number 3, I should say, number 4, sorry, social proof. You want a social proof. If you're not using these pictures, you should be. Okay, not many people want to be the first one to do something. So I just say, this is what typical neighborhoods look like in the western United States. You notice anything about this neighborhood? Oh yeah, a lot of solar panels. A little hard to see from the Google Maps imagery, but yeah, you can see every single house has panels on it. These are neighborhoods in Colorado. So your area will look like this over the next 10 years now that net metering is available here. Net metering hasn't been available for nearly as long as it has been in the western United States. So your area will look like this. Everyone who gets enough sun will have solar on it at some point. Right now, homeowners who go solar will get a much better deal than everyone else who waits. For a couple reasons, price of solar goes up every year, just like the price of electricity does. The tax credit is here. The government's paying for 30% of your entire system. I'll show you what that looks like. And then we have some other incentives you can take advantage of right now as well. So, and also it's mid-February, so I would be saying by the time you guys get your panels turned on, it'll be late spring, early summer. You'll be able to overproduce right away. So this is the best time of year for net metering to get the process started. So you could say that as well. You start creating that urgency right away. Okay, and then you got to kill the bill. So I'm sure you guys have articles on Excel and Dakota and whoever the hell connects us. Always forget. So you pull this up and say, this is why everyone's switching to solar. People are tired of their electric bills doubling every 10 years. So there's this little thing, you may have heard of it, it's called inflation. You probably realize your gas bill go way up. The price for gasoline is quite a bit. The price for groceries is up quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, so electricity across the country goes up about 5% annually. Here locally, and if you have an article that shows greater than 5%, I would definitely hit that. So in your opinion, what do you think electricity prices are going to do moving forward? Are they going to stay the same? Are they going to go down? Or are they going to go up? What do you think? They're going to tell me that they're going to go up. They're going to tell me that. Okay. So you kind of paint the picture, and then they meet you halfway there with that idea. They've got to agree with that. Okay. So make sure they agree with that, and that's how I get that agreement from them. This is, yeah, you guys are gonna be jealous of Duke. They went up 60% last year.
How much?
60% last year. Salmon deals through last year.
What a nice company.
We're slow and steady, 10% every year.
Yeah,
Takes
yeah,
slow and
I know.
They take away net metering though, so. There's that.
Yeah, I've done 90% of my volume with Excel, so very familiar. Excel's in Colorado as well. So with solar, you're going to be in a price protection plan. Your electric bill is going to be inflation proof. Okay, say that. So that would be the cost of you guys doing nothing. The gray line here would be paying more and more forever. You're renting your power every month. You can never pay your bill off, and it goes up every year, right? You used to have to lease solar panels. Those go up. There's a better picture somewhere that doesn't have the lease in there, which I like better. Just don't have it.
I would love that picture.
It's somewhere. I don't know.
I've never seen
It's I swear it's somewhere. So anyways, with our plan, you're gonna be at a fixed rate from day one. Every month you'll know exactly what your bill is, it'll never go up on you, and whenever you pay the system off, there's no more cost for electricity in the house. So it's pretty similar to why a mortgage makes more sense than renting a house, right? Why would you rent your house when you can own your house, right? So, did you guys do a 30-year mortgage like most people? Yeah. I did as well on my house. That's the most common mortgage in America because people want the lowest monthly payment, they want a fixed payment, they want to own their own house, they want to build equity. Does it mean you have to live in the house for 30 years? No, which is the smartest way to pay for something you have to pay for, right? So the same thing with solar. Okay, so I hammer that every time. Now I'm starting to speak their language. So do you guys know what your highest bill was last year and your lowest bill? Like, give me a figure. What was your highest bill last year? Okay, so this is when I don't ask them to like pull out their spreadsheet and tell me their exact monthly electricity cost. I don't want that. I want to know what their highest payment was and what their lowest payment was. Because then I'm going to say, we're going to put you in a solar payment somewhere in between those numbers. Okay? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tasty.
That's a little nugget from CJ. I got a little bit ago. So, and then you're gonna like, oh, it's $200 a month. Okay, $200 a month. Did you guys know $200 a month, inflating annual at 8% is $432 a month after 10 years? If it goes up 12% a year, it's $621 a month after 10 years. So I like just having this, just math, just to like, some people don't know how to calculate compound interest like that, right? So a lot of people don't, and that's fine. I did it for them. Okay, and now, so just circling back really quick, we went through the inflation, kill the bill. We did the solar solution. Now I'm gonna pull up the equity slide. I used to show the Zillow article, that's a good one, but the EcoWatch article is better. So when I pull up that slide, I'm talking about what happens if they move, and then I'm asking them, I'm talking about what happens if they need a new roof. So these are two things you have to cover every time, because if you don't and they seem like they love solar and you walk out of the house, then this question, one of these questions or both of them, will come up later and it's going to scare the crap out of them and you didn't handle it right. So this is EcoWatch. You can just Google EcoWatch solar home increase.
Right, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. So and then, yeah, you guys are gonna get 8 kilowatts, so your equity will be about 47 grand. Anyways, how long are you guys planning on staying in the house? Forever? Great. 5 years? Great. 10 years? It's hard for most people to answer that question, so I always like make sure that they know that that's okay. Like, yeah, you don't have to tell me the exact. Most people don't know how long they're gonna be in the house. But remember, just like a long-term mortgage, it doesn't mean you have to live in that house 30 years. So it's a really easy process when you go to sell your house with solar. You sell every house in this country with an electric bill. This would just be a lower fixed one. So you really have two options. Most people, they mark their home up in cost for the remaining balance, and then it's paid off right there at the point of the sale, and the new homeowner doesn't have an electric bill. So that's very attractive. You don't have to do that though. You could just transfer the payment in the new homeowner's name. Either way, there's no fees, no penalties for doing that. So it's a really good process. Okay, say it just like that. They're gonna feel really good about that. The other question I get that you haven't asked yet, but you will ask at some point, so I'm just gonna tell you, is what happens if you need a new roof. Okay, so again, easy process. Solar wouldn't be a dominating industry if a re-roof was the actual problem. So what you want to do is you want to cover your solar panels through your insurance company. It's really cheap to do so, goes right under your dwelling assets, so whenever you need a new roof, just call us. Don't let your roofer work on the system. We'll come out, we'll take the panels off, you get the new roof on, and we'll come back out, hook it back up for you. You pay your deductible like you normally would, and they would pay our labor. So, yep,
But what if it's not an insurance line?
exactly. You're gonna get that question like a third of the time, I would say. Okay, so if you do get that question, and say, well, first of all, the name of the game when getting a new roof is try to get the insurance to pay for it. So definitely try to do that first. If you can't get insurance to pay for it, then you would pay our labor costs. Keep in mind, we install your system in 1 day, so it's not a week-long project or anything. You're our customer, we want to keep you happy, so it's not a crazy labor cost or anything like that. You're just literally going to pay our installers for coming out. Rough estimate, and I'll leave it at that. Once again, what are you going to ask next? How much is that? How much is that? Yeah, how much is that? So most of the time, let's see, for your house, and then I start looking at the roof, like, we've got one array up there, 25 panels, that's probably 6 hours each way, so you're probably looking at like $2,000 ballpark. Keep in mind your savings is going to be way higher than that. Yeah, well, they're going to cross that bridge when they have it. I don't want to scare them away at that point, because the likelihood of that happening is pretty low, because it does increase your lifespan of your roof under the panels.
Hail here too, so.
You guys don't get shit for hail. Yeah, we get baseball. I got my Rex, my RACs installed last year. My best friend's our head installer in Denver. The next day, freaking baseball size, not a scratch on it.
First time
I have 16. I got concrete shingles, because that's a thing in Colorado, because we get real hail there. I got concrete shingles. I climb up there. There's 16 freaking broken concrete tiles. Like, just looks like someone took a baseball bat to my roof. And I get up, I got 10 panels, not a scratch.
Did you take a picture of that?
I got a picture of the hail.
You did a roof next to panels?
Should have taken that.
There's your
I
story.
didn't take a
There's your
picture.
story. There's your story about
Yeah.
how hail resistant they are.
But that's what I'm saying, we saw the slide deck, send a picture that you have.
You ever say that in meetings?
I'll add it to the document.
I probably do.
No, that's a, I mean.
I don't know if I took pictures of the hail, but I don't know if I took my phone up on the roof. I have like a massive pallet of extra shingles, and I just replace them all myself. It took me like an hour.
I did live to tell a tale, but my dad's car was dented like crap.
Yeah, I've got my Jeep got totaled from hail my first year.
Not one of these stories, no, I was several ducks.
Insurance, yeah, the insurance claim. Totaled it out, gave me a check. So good. I wonder if I have this. I bet I can find it.
I didn't mean to slow you up, Matt. You find a way to roll it.
Oh, you're good. I remember sending it.
Keeps the hat,
Crazy.
keeps the hat, man.
Tub of yogurt.
Eric, put it. Yeah.